the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Memamo akwaba bi mba Nsem-Pii TV so. Enra eyemra shebidwa for kwa setna. Finally ebeto dwa say the 2024 budget no omanya approve. Nene ra shebidwa for sa kwa setna bi ma the minority caucus no raise massive concern about the 2024 budget. Say ekwan ba ku menu me nsa bia mpanifo afa so approve budget no omo minority caucus no omo njintum omo susuye mu no the 2024 budget ndi yenjintum ana ye approve the Tamale South member of parliament for Tamale South onmunya for Haruna Iddrisu challenge majority the honorable chairman Sabunsu. Now in same way beto abonte no NDC no as a release a statement omo communication officer Sami Jamfi insa na shase utie emunsem na omadwe say kwan bia so omefa so omegu excellency Adam Kwakufa ne NPP aban fi na 2024 omde aban mu no omobeye na message ebeko ne akuti obi reporter Ojifree and reporter free emra shebede fi bae ene NDC statement omulizi ye no obi nsem a odetudwa efa ho yenkuti emra.
So far, the cost of Parliament relative to approval of the budget and all the other issues, no, yeni hun komomra sisia. Kwa santi akwaba.
Obi mejo so.
Na bibi eko yedie.
Bibi eko ya no pay na kasaka ba budget mu sentebi na argument takaba flow regarding whether or not the budget may be passed here, but the way it has been captured on the other paper. In fact, if you saw the vote and proceedings for today, the understanding in the vote and proceeding was that the budget has been passed as of yesterday. But no majority leader only understanding is a budget really they are passed that and they put the voice vote question, and that the only thing that had been done was a challenge, and until the challenge was adjudicated and a head count was taken, his understanding was that the budget had already been passed. Haruna Iddrisu a challenge, so they went back and forth on whether or not, as at yesterday before the head count, the budget had been passed or not. We should also explain. Say not in one making ruling as of last week, say because the head count was still on and had not been taken, budget had not been passed. But this argument was really much ado about nothing because the budget had already been passed. It was just about the nomenclature and how the votes and proceedings has captured that. They went back and forth over it for some minutes before the Speaker of Parliament intervened and said, "Well, this argument is really not important because the budget you are passing that. And what is important is that the finance minister cannot bring the estimates to the various committees. Now, as of from next week, NDC said to the 2nd December parliamentary break." And then there was also another information said because of the workload what Parliament schedules. So next week Saturday, MPs will have to come to work because normally MPs sit between Tuesday and Friday. But for the last 3 weeks, they've been sitting on Monday in addition because of a Juma and majority for business committee is also made up of minority leadership and other members. The program said next week Saturday. MP for Juma. Some MPs raised concerns because of workload. MP has to go to the constituency to a lot of things. But Nina Koya and Kusiaga, the agreement is next week Saturday, MP for back. So as of now, the Speaker took some suspension. He said as soon as he comes, work will start on the anti-LGBTQ bill. Then the House probably will take an adjournment for today.
Okay. The meaning as we speak, the 2024 budget statement and as a financial policy of government has been approved, right?
It has been approved as per the head count of yesterday, 138 against 136 with NDC MP James Dafikwesina when he said the whole of this needs to Parliament because of the home fano they need to go crowd of just say the home by the drone and about more. So 138 to 136 the budget passed.
That's with the financial policy of government, and I said they are a budget, appropriations,
appropriation vote will happen on the 22nd of December, the last day of sitting for this meeting, and on the
appropriations.
But even before that, there will be various estimates from the MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies, which will come there will be different set of votes on all of them, which will ultimately culminate in a vote on the appropriation on the last day of 22nd.
And son, subsequent to that, no, you share name say the various tax bills are a parliament right?
Definitely. In fact, Osha Finance Minister budget or present here one making mention say new taxes ever. The tax bills I beg parliament. See, I just say what we use to petrol car, what we use to diesel car. Afibia say parliament passing this tax law over to 100 cedi and kind is 1 million. What? Yeah, 100 cedis. Yes, 1 million.
Yeah, 1 million.
1 billion.
Sure.
Every year, because of government. So say climate change they want more Ghanaians to transition to use eco-friendly vehicles. And if you use a car with internal combustion, which is the petrol and diesel cars, you pay 100 cedis every year as a way of moving people to use eco-friendly. That is that. Then there are a few amendments to the value added tax VAT lower. Abema application hunyama because 20%, 20%, and also tax. So there are a number of these tax bills which are currently before the House. The House has not started working on it. I'm sure from next week a lot of those reports will come to the floor for a vote.
Oh, okay. And with the and I say anti-LGBTQ and the proper Ghanaian family values bill, no. Sisia, where are they? Omadruhin Sisia with the bill.
Bill no what is called the second reading has already happened.
Okay.
It's at the consideration stage.
Okay.
Amendments are proposed to the law as was originally written by sponsors. No, I say about floor. No more picking one by one.
Okay.
Debate the polls, then vote on it. Whichever amendment carries, then forms part of the bill as has been done. And for make a claim, the bill has not seen any progress. And at this week, over there, Sam George, a chairman of the committee, have planned on several occasions.
Yes.
Sam George, I accuse the majority force almost frustrating the progress of the bill. And the majority force say there are other equally important bills in the House. I say, or proper family value bills. Impression there should not be created. Say, or organize a press conference when the something in when I speak of parliament and when me almost pass a budget year, I will buy taking amendments to car said kind of function is just start bill because of the importance, parliament be passing before they will go on Christmas break on the 22nd of December. In the speak of parliament lecture, a canon quandianka if I could do say parliament for the break for Bronyano, now this proper family value bill has been passed. And we expect that they will start working on the consideration stage. The Speaker of Parliament took a suspension of 10 minutes. As of now, Wasaba is taking his seat. There are questions for the Roads Minister.
Yes.
The Roads Minister now answers that question then there will be time to work on the proper family values bill at the consideration stage. I've not seen the chairman on the floor yet. But he cannot really say, even though the amendments stand in the name of the chairman, those amendments are amendments of the committee. So either the ranking member or the deputy chairperson or any other member of the committee can move those amendments and then the House can work on that. So in the next 30, maybe the next hour, when the questions stand in the name of MPs to the Roads Minister, say, the proper family values and human sexual bill, the back floor also for consideration stage, then it will be taken. Some George has been in Parliament this morning, our train said, we'll take this and then action will happen on it.
Finally, on the withdrawal of the LI that sought to restrict the importation of some items into Ghana, officially, I say Abaya withdraw from Parliament. What do we know?
Yes, everyone, your information say some decisions have been taken at the highest level of government. Say because of concerns at Guta, any other traders, because of this LI, any minority for resistance on the floor, government decided they will pull the brakes on moving forward with the LI until those concerns are well addressed and ironed out, and then when the consultations are really firmed up, then the minister can lay that again maybe at the next meeting or at any time when there is an agreement. And if Information Minister Kojo Pongo Makasai said this is because government listens. This is a listening government which has been paying attention to the concerns people have said about this LI and that is why they are suspending its laying. You have to explain, sir, as of yesterday when that information came, the LI had not officially been laid, so that the 21 sitting days for it to mature into law would have started counting. But it was going through pre-laying stage at the subsidiary legislation committee, former deputy attorney general, Dominic Aini, and the SR chairman, LSR committee. So, until officially they've decided to say that LI will no longer be laid until further consultation. It has not come up on the floor. In fact, if you look at today's order paper, that business has been taken off because of all the concerns that have come up. So we do not expect that will be late. And since then also, KT Amon, who was the minister prosecuting this business, has also not been to the floor. He has not spoken to the media about this yet. We've only heard from the information minister, who has given us that confirmation. LI, it's not going to be laid in the coming days.
The narrative making rounds, Abai did this under some form of duress from the IMF, no? Is it a narrative very popular in the house, Anna?
Very popular. In fact, if you look at the documents, Ghana binding the trust staff here together with the IMF, the agreement clearly prescribed any import restrictions by way of shoring up the country's payment balance there, and then some of the deficit that government has been facing over the years. And so, for the last few days, we did some digging on that, and then we realized that. But the MPs who are concerned that it appears the government did not listen to the Ghanaian people, it did not listen to the minority, the concerns go to another share. But it's only because IMF drew the attention to that conditionality in the 3 billion extended facility program they signed. But the information minister, the reason why government is suspending the laying of the LI is just because Aban 8 Ghana 4 and Ghana 4 Kasa, and because this Aban they take their mandate from the people of Ghana, they have to listen to the concerns as have been shared and then do further consultation. So in the coming days, the Minister for Trade and Industry, Kobna Tahir Hammond, the MP for Adam Africa, will continue to talk to all stakeholders, interest groups, GUTA, minority, and other bodies are expressing concerns about this piece of business. Upwards will say there will be some level of agreement. Any engineer be so say you have come to a common ground on it before we lay. But of course, there are still those in the minority. For instance, the ranking member on the Constitutional Legal Affairs Committee, Peter Rahia, who I spoke to yesterday, and others who shared a view that it is because the IMF was breathing down heavily on the neck of the government, and that is why they had to suspend the laying. But the minister says it's because this government listens, and that is why they decided to say they will not lay this LI.
In the approval of budget, when numbers are the two, and just say on the side of the NPP, every MP was present. For the NDC, so they say. As
of yesterday morning, a lot of ministers had gone to COP28 in Dubai.
Yes.
And I can confirm that some of the ministers even arrived early Thursday morning for this vote, and they came to Parliament straight from the airport to come and prosecute this. All 138 majority MPs were in Parliament. 136 of their colleagues on the minority side were also in Parliament. The only MP who was absent, James Datikwe, is a Senate for MP. They actually say he's been absent the whole of this meeting because of ill health, and he's
and voting is not through head count, right?
And you stand up in your chair, you shout present. Then if you're on the majority side, then it means you are for aye. If you are in the minority side, then you are no. Initially, Speaker of Parliament, say MP board now sorry. Over say to my budget and I want to my budget, and the majority for challenge say this has come down to partisan consideration. Obi our majority be a supportive budget, Obi a see minority is also own supportive budget. They won't answer one for that sorry now. They are saying supportive budget and I'm supportive budget. All they have to do is to stand up, be counted to show that they are present, and then it will be counted as their caucus votes, and then the results will be declared.
Very well. Kwaku, my nasi, bibi any ebesi ababidi nkomo bio. Why?
Okay.
That's papa. Kwaku asante. Parliamentary Affairs Correspondent in a related development, the NDC issued statement. The statement reads: NDC salutes its gallant 137 members of Parliament following passage of the 2024 budget. The NDC wishes to commend its 137 members of Parliament for their show of patriotism during the passage of the budget statement and economic policy of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government for the year 2024. Parliament yesterday voted on the motion to approve the principles of the 2024 budget statement. This was after the NPP majority side had initially fled from their own budget approval when the motion was first tabled for a vote by the Right Honourable Speaker Alban Sumana Bagwin. At the end of yesterday's head count, the budget was passed by a decision of 138 to 136 in favour of the NPP majority side of the House. Throughout weeks of rigorous debate on the 2024 budget, members of the NDC minority took turns to demonstrate sector by sector that the 2024 budget does not have the interests of the people of Ghana at heart. Having already imposed over 20 taxes on Ghanaians since 2017, despite their promise to move the country from taxation to production while in opposition, the insensitive Akufo-Addo Bawumia government has once again introduced a raft of draconian tax measures in the 2024 budget worth 11 billion Ghana cedis. These include the imposition of VAT on a range of items such as textbooks, exercise books, and stationery, non-life insurance, domestic travels, domestic transportation of passengers by road, rail, and water, as well as an increase in tax stamp duty, among others. The Akufo-Addo Bawumia NPP government is further introducing excise duty of 100 Ghana cedis per annum on all petrol and diesel vehicles. This regressive tax will apply to all category of vehicles regardless of whether one drives a V8 engine, articulator, taxi, or an Uber. Industries are equally not spared, as excise duty of 100 Ghana cedis per ton of carbon dioxide emission is being imposed on them. The NDC applauds all members of the minority caucus for not lending support to the imposition of these draconian taxes, which will further exacerbate the excruciating hardship Ghanaians are already reeling under. This 2024 bye-bye budget signals the end of the road for the failed Akufo-Addo Bawumia NPP government, which has completely lost touch with the reality of Ghanaians. Ghanaians must brace themselves for more hardships next year, as a result of the belligerence and insensitivity of Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, ably supported by the 138 MPP members of Parliament who have against good conscience approved the 2024 killer budget. We however wish to assure the Ghanaian public that the NDC stands ready to rescue our nation from its current state of hopelessness come 2024 under the able leadership of the visionary and trustworthy nation builder John Dramani Mahama. This is signed by Sami Jemfia Squire, National Communications Officer of the NDC. We'll come back to this statement, but first, Mamene,